Y'all, I know they sick of this, man. What is good? What is good? What is Gucci? Courtney IG, and I'm back again. This time we're talking about Meek Mill's 5th studio album, Expensive Pain, guys. Expensive Pain. So this album follows on from Championships, the 2018 album, and his 2020 Quarantine pack. I didn't really feel that, but Championships was monstrous. I'm gonna, talk a little bit about my thoughts before we dive into this review. So yeah, Meek is an artist I followed for many, many years, like from his mixtape days, Dream Chasers, everything, man. All of his albums, Dreams and Nightmares, Meek's been around. Like, he's been a barer for a minute. He just gives you that intense, raw hunger, street stories, passion, and it's like high speed as well. He can be rapid, he can be high speed, he can slow it down, he can mix it up, and it's just really intense. A lot of the songs he does, like Tony Stories, very intense, very vivid, it's just, he puts you in the moment. He's great at doing that. And it's like, the classics, Dreams and Nightmares, I'm a Boss, Levels, Tony Stories, like I mentioned, it goes on and on. Cold Hearted, all of those, Cold Hearted Part 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, it goes on. So he just gives you that mindset, like, go and get it regardless. Like, just go and make it happen. Just do it. You don't worry about what people are saying. Go and get it. So let's get into my thoughts on Championships briefly. In Championships, guys, I felt like he was so in control of his delivery and gave us such a well-rounded body of work, which to this day I still go back to. Obviously for the Drake one, Going Bad, All Those Noodles Babies, Was Free, Cold Hearted Part 2, as I just mentioned. And it's like the album bridged the line between Turn Up, obviously you got that Spanish one that I don't remember, but that one was ringing off. It bridged the line between Turn Up and like Conscious. Like, I feel like it really sits up there with one of his best bodies of work. It has to. Like, there's no doubt about that for me. And it's like, given that view, guys, coming into this album, I was like, can he really excel past it? So now we're going to get into my first time listen review thoughts without any more delay. So I can't complain about the Hate Me Now flip, on Hate On Me. I can't complain. Nas, legend, delivered an exceptional album this year, just like he did last year. But anyway, this is about Meek. And it's very much Meek in his bag, his usual energy, his usual production, But the problem is, guys, outside of that, I didn't really like the track so much. I was like, all right, it's same old. And it's like, we went on to Sharing Locations, because the other tracks before didn't really do anything. Sharing Locations, I was like, all right, cool. This could have just been on that Dirk and Baby mixtape without Meek, and I would have been liking it just the same. And nothing really caught me until we got into this track, Expensive Pain. Yeah, when I heard this, I was like, yeah, this is the Meek I like to hear. Why wasn't this the intro, or why wasn't this an outro? Because the positioning of it was a bit off. And it's like, I really like how he had an album titled song. I like when artists have album titled songs in their albums, mixtapes, whatever, because then they're really consciously trying to tie it up. Like, this lifestyle is expensive, the way I'm living is expensive, my homie's coming home from the fairs, from Penn, you know what I'm saying? Giving you that context before you dive into the body of work. That's how I like it to be set. It's not how it was set here. And then the problem is with this song, Coming Where It Comes, what follows, again, is just strange. Like the Kalani one, okay, cool. All right, cool. ASAP Ferg one, FWM, okay, cool. The Gigs one, I didn't feel the chemistry. Like, that Gigs verse felt like it wasn't done together in the studio. And maybe it was, maybe I'm wrong. But to me, I didn't feel any chemistry there. It just didn't, it didn't really make sense. Like, I didn't really get what this song was meant to do. Maybe some people mess with it. Hey, if you love it, man. But for me, it wasn't it. It was not it at all. And it might sound lazy, guys, but for me, I just turn off when I hear artists sounding like other artists. And throughout this project, which turned me off listening, Meek sounds like Dirk and Baby, Roddy Rich, as I actually did mention in my championships review. You can go back on my Courtney IG profile to read it. But it's like, he's just adopting their kind of harmonizing, singy stuff like he did on We Slide with Fug. And as I said, it just switches me off a bit. And I understand artists want to be creative. I understand that. But play to your strengths, Meek. Play to your strengths on this album. You're not playing to your strengths throughout. It's like, where you're harmonizing, why couldn't you give that to someone who is highly proficient in this lane, this harmonizing lane? I know you're doing it and it's cool, but for me, it's more impactful when you come with a hard-hitting verse like you do with Flameless Flow, Expensive Pain, Cold Hearted, Part 3, Tweaking. You let Vori handle the kind of melodic stuff and you came with bars. So why couldn't you just keep to that? I know it's pushing it, but it just doesn't really work on Outside. It doesn't really work on Out of My Soul, Love Money. Just a few examples, like where it didn't really work, where you're trying to do this harmonization thing. And to be honest, guys, I could kind of just wrap up already. Like, to wrap up, I felt like Meek was kind of confused by what he wanted to deliver to his core fan base. And maybe he just wanted to experiment here. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. Like, he just felt like, you know what? The new kids, they love this stuff. Let me jump into this and let me try a thing and see how it works. For me, it didn't work. But I respect that he was pushing the boundaries. It's moments like the open letter style of Halo with Brent Faiyaz, where he's just giving you the perspective of his life, what he wants, to get married, which I felt like would have been a lot more impactful. Like, just give me the bars then, innit? And like, yeah, imagine putting that Expensive Pain and then putting Halo and then putting like Cold Hearted Part 3 and layering it like that. Give me 10 tracks of those. Obviously, then have a few singy-songy stuff with Fug and other, let them lead it and you do the bars. That would have made this album a lot better for me. And considering the years in the game, I really want that kind of season level project now. Not like too much, experimentation, which doesn't really sit perfectly for me. I wouldn't say the album was terrible, guys, but I would say it's a big, big step down from Championships. I'm going to give it a 5.8 out of 10. And I'm going to say top 3, Halo, Expensive Pain, and Cold Hearted Part 3. You know what to do, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, inspire, enrich.